Hi angels, my name is Alysha and welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a really fun tutorial for you. It is my favorite crochet piece ever. I made 2 of them so far and it is this flared ruffle skirt. It's pretty simple and there's 2 ways to do it. You can cheat like me. This is like against the crochet rules or something, but I do it so that there's no seam anywhere on it, which I personally prefer, but there's also the option to do it the proper way. But yeah, I also wanted to thank this person right here for suggesting that I do this tutorial because I love this skirt so much and I'm glad that other people like it too. And thank you all for getting me to 250 subscribers. That's so awesome. Thank you. As always, if you have any questions or you want to show me what you made, I would love to see it. So make sure to check me out on Instagram or TikTok and you guys can send me DMs or tag me, anything like that. So let's get into it. So we're going to start with a slip knot. Insert and chain 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're going to yarn over and insert your hook. I think it's 3 from the chain, from the one on your hook, so 1, 2, 3. And we're doing half double crochets all the way down. Alright, so at the end, so we're going to chain 2, flip your work, and now instead of going into the hole that we usually go to in every single row, we're going to go into the back loop only. So see how there's a V shape? You're going to insert into that V and just do your half double crochet in the back loop. So we insert like that. And make sure to get the last stitch, chain 2, and just repeat what you did. It's going to start making kind of like a ribbing pattern like this. See how you can kind of see like how it goes in and out, kind of making like a stripy ribbing. But yeah, just keep going in that back loop for a whole bunch of rows until you have a strip that is long enough to wrap around your waist. But remember, it's a skirt, so you're going to have to pull it up around your body. So it should be also long enough so that it'll stretch around the widest part of your hips so you can pull it up. What I would do is just make it extra long, try it on, and then pull away any parts that you don't need. I like making too much and then pulling away rather than making too little and having to go back because you have to try it on less. So I'll meet you when I have a strip that's long enough to wrap around my waist. Alright, so I've completed my waistband, and now what we are going to do is join the two ends together. So I finished a row, chain 2, and now I'm going to fold them so that the edges line up with one another. Insert my hook into one end, and then insert it in its matching stitch on the other side. And I am making a single crochet. So insert in the front, insert in the back, and if you did everything right and didn't add any or drop any stitches by accident, it should line up perfectly. And the last stitch might be a little bit difficult, but you'll get it. And now we are going to work this way. So we're working around the skirt. This is going to be the base of the skirt. And we are going to start off just by making single crochets all the way around. I want you to put 2 in every row. So you see we have got a row there, a row there. It's rather large stitches on the end. So we have like these big holes that we're inserting into. Honestly, I don't know how to make this perfect. So, and it doesn't really need to be perfect, but you're just kind of like figuring out your way around, and then this will make a nice base, and so for our next row it'll be nice and easy to go through because we'll make like a nice base chain. So see how it's making a nice clean row of stitches? So yeah. Two in every one until you make it to the end, and I'll meet you there. Alright, so I've gotten to my end. I've done my row of single crochets, and now this is where I had my chain 2 at the end. I'm going to insert my crochet hook and make a slip knot. We're going to chain 2, and now we are going to do rows of half double crochet. So just yarning over and do a bunch of rows of half double crochet. I would do it to the point just where it covers your butt. And at the end you could join it like normal, how we just did with the single crochet where we did a slip stitch and then we chain 2. But I am going to teach you my against the rules, illegal crochet hack that I secretly always do with skirts. I know it's bad, and if anyone in the crochet group chats found out that I was doing this, they would probably kick me out. But this is my hack, and I like doing my skirts this way, even if it's not the right way. So you could do it the right way, but I'll show you at the end of this row how I do it my cheating way. So I got to the end of my first row of half double crochets, and I've noticed I did this by accident one time, and I honestly just preferred it. So instead of doing the proper way of doing a slip stitch, chaining, and then doing another like distinct row, I honestly just fake it and just keep going. And then now you won't be able to tell where the rows start and begin. They will all just kind of blend together, and I think that it makes a really nice effect on the skirt. Because you know with crochet sometimes you can see like the lines of like where each row is. I feel like it just kind of blends them all together like this, which I personally really like. So I just skipped over doing that slip stitch chain thing, and I'm just gonna keep going around and around. Don't tell people that I told you this, because this is the wrong way, and I know that, but this is the way that I prefer to do it. So I'm just gonna keep going and doing my rows of half double crochet until I have enough skirt. I like mine to be high-waisted, so it's gonna go from around my belly button to just covering the butt, and then I will show you how to do the little skirt. Alright, so this is the amount of rows that I did. It covers like up high-waisted, and it just covers my butt, like just. And that's where we're gonna start our flare, and I stopped doing the rows right in the center. Now, if you cheated like me, here once we're at the center back, I'm just gonna add a paper clip. You can add a stitch marker, whatever, to mark where your center is. And if you did it the proper way, then you should know like where your center back seam is. But yeah, so now for 2 rows around, we are going to put 2 double crochet stitches in every single hole. So twice around. The reason that we have this little stitch marker is so we know how many times we've gone around, and so we don't do too many. So I'm putting my stitch marker on the first place where I'm going to do 2 in the same stitch. I'm yarning over, inserting in the very same hole, a second one. Yarn over, and insert, and another in the very same hole. Insert, and another in the very same hole. So just keep putting 2 half double crochets in every single stitch, 2 rows around. I'll meet you again at the end of the first row so you can start to see what it looks like. Alright, so I've gone all the way around, and we're starting to see how it's going to flare out a little bit. And I've got my paper clip here to roughly show me where I started my increases, but if we look closely here, you can see the 2 emanating from the 1 stitch. And I am going to insert and put 2 into each stitch for another row. And I am just going to move my stitch marker to that first stitch where I increased in the second row. And this is where I will stop increasing. So I'll go all the way around and I'll stop increasing there. And then just for the remainder of the rows, doing just regular half double crochet, no increases, no decreases. Alright, so I've done 2 rows around, and you see it's got this kind of like twisty, curly pattern. And once we extend that out, that'll make for a nice kind of flippy, almost like pleats. I like how it flares out. In previous works, I have done around like 10 rows. It all depends on how much coverage you want and how long you want your little flared end to be. But I'm going to keep going just around and around until I have the length that I want, and then I'll show you how to finish off. I've got my paper clip from where I wanted to end my increase row, and now I'm just going to continue with my half double crochets like normal. Alright, so I did around 11 rows, including those 2 rows of increases that we did right at the beginning. And here I am at the end. So I made a mark of where I wanted to end. And now, instead of continuing with our half double crochets, I am just going to make a slip stitch. So that is just inserting your hook yarning over and pulling that same loop through, and then it makes a pretty flat line. I'm gonna chain one, snip the yarn, and tie it off, and we're all done. I'll show you what it looks like when it's on. All right, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check me out on Instagram and TikTok, and share with me if you made this, because this is my favorite skirt ever. So yeah, bye.